Today, we have something fun. We have something fun on the table that I've been preparing for a little bit, because I am a nerd. I was gonna say something, you know, more profound there, but like really the end-all be-all of it is I am a huge, gigantic nerd who was hyperfixating about 2 weeks ago. And actually more than 2 weeks. Has it been over a month? Two of my hyperfixations slammed into each other at breakneck speed, and now we're going to sit here and talk about it. I am doing a lovely Canva presentation for you guys, which is, of course, Fable SMP as PMA, as the Magnus Archives. For those of you who are uninitiated or unaware, the Magnus Archives is a podcast distributed by Rusty Quill and I don't remember the whole bit. I haven't listened to it in a while. Seriously, for those of you who do not know, the Magnus Archives is a horror podcast by Jonathan Sims. It is an anthology series, so it kind of feels like Monster of the Week at the very beginning, where it is about an archivist who is cataloging, they work at a institute called the Magnus Institute that catalogs weird, spooky shit, and it's fun. And so it's a little bit Monster of the Week at the very beginning, where you start hearing all these creepy ass stories about people encountering spooky shit, and then as you go, the story eventually turns into like one huge long narrative, and you suddenly realize, oh fuck, if I wasn't paying attention to that guy who was mentioned at the minute mark 1502 in episode 32, I'm not gonna understand half this ending. Which is real and did happen. And if you're really fucking new here, Fable SMP is a Minecraft SMP that that I was a part of a couple years ago. Wild that I could say a couple years ago now. I'm pretty sure literally everyone watching this knows what Fable is. So, I'm not gonna go into detail about Fable. You know why you're here. You probably clicked on this link in the Fable Discord. I came to the realization a long fucking time ago. Actually, Fable was still going on when I came to this realization. A lot of the Fable characters, most actually, fit very neatly into the cast of the Magnus Archives. Almost disturbingly neatly, to the point where I'm genuinely surprised we didn't do it on purpose. And I can prove we didn't do it on purpose, because Hey13 has never listened to the Magnus Archives. This entire presentation is my Hail Mary to get Hey13 to listen to the Magnus Archives. It's crazy you've never met this man, considering you copy-pasted him. Beck, have your thoughts changed on Hit Book? We made the book from the Library of Evil Books we told you not to read. Please read it. Absolutely not. I have not changed my mind on we made the Torment Nexus from hit show Don't Build the Torment Nexus. Also, fun fact about me that I like bragging about because I think it's really cool. I'm friends with Alistair Stewart. That's my one big flex. I'm friends with Alistair Stewart. He is a very cool person. He comments on my TikToks all the time. Reminder that he found you because of you making out as John Sins. No! He found me because I was making divorce jokes, and then after he followed me, the first thing he saw was me making out with someone as Elias. Thank you. Get my history right. Now that we've had a nice introduction to Fable and TMA, it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of this, which is the characters who match up. And that's going to be this entire presentation, is just talking about the characters that match up. So, of course, we begin with Mr. Ray Morningstar. Now, we've already talked about this. Yeah, like, duh. Like, fucking duh. The reason I came up with this in the first place was because of this. It's 1-to-1, almost, to a disturbing degree. This is a no-nonsense academia guy who gets absolutely fucked by the horrors. There's a lot of eye imagery. He's constantly blaming himself for the misery of others. He goes way too far, way too fast, and it always completely screws him over. He's gay. He's an eldritch god specialist little prince and hates this. hanging on to his boyfriend for dear life, has fallen asleep in his office surrounded by his work on numerous occasions. I'm not a brave man, but I am in certain circumstances a very stubborn one. That's a John quote, but it feels like Ray. This man is copy-pasted, okay? Literally, like, hey, somehow reached through the Magnus archives without ever listening to it, picked up Jonathan Sims by the scruff of his neck, and then threw him into Fable. Ray literally built an archive as well. Yeah. These two are shaking hands to an absurd degree. And I need more, like, Ray as the archivist art. This is actually my true purpose behind this presentation, is to get some TMA Fable art on my desk by the morning. The big one, the first one, the well-duh of the group is Ray as John. We've got Caspian. Given that Ray is John, let's take a wild swing for the fences on who's getting Caspian. Yeah. Oh gee. Oh wow. Who could have fucking guessed? For real though, aside from just being the boyfriend of the main character, right? Martin and Caspian actually line up in a lot of different ways. Is Ray/John's first personal introduction to the horrors. Like, Caspian's got the Enderian stuff going on in the prison. Martin's got the worms, you know? You remember that time he kicked down the door covered in worms and scared the shit out of John and made him forced him to confront the fact that this might be real? But yeah, also ridiculously large and poorly hidden crush. He's got some ghostly imagery going on, especially more towards the later seasons. White streak in my hair, but much stress now. It's not present in this fan art, but a lot of artists for TMA draw Martin with white streaks in his hair. Jamie and Athena. And I feel like this one is less obvious, but I feel like some of you might be able to guess. This is our Tim and Sasha. Because they're the assistants. They're the assistants in the archive. And they definitely got something flirty going on here. I don't have specifics, right? I don't have specifics for these two. I think you could cut it either way. I think Athena could be Sasha. I think Athena could be Tim. Or I think Jamie could be Tim. Or Jamie could be Sasha. You could really flip it either way. There's good arguments for both. Tim and Athena have some strong connections to the destruction. But then also Tim and Jamie have like sibling-related trauma. So like, whichever way you flip it, you can have fun. Oh, my eyes are open. Really fun to be here when I've seen neither Fable nor TMA. This is going to be a really interesting day for you, Chaos. The real question is which one of them is going on the kayaking trip. And I am not going to explain that to people who haven't seen TMA. Tim with a beard, my beloved. Tim is canonically the hot one. You gotta get hot with Tim. If you're just making Tim generic man number 5, what are we doing? What are we doing, boys? Gotta make him sexy. He needs to be played by Markiplier. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! What a shocker! What a surprise! Who's gonna be surprised about this? Who's gonna be surprised about this? Not anybody who's seen both shows, I'll tell you that much. Who can guess this one? Whoa! What a shocker! Wow, what a sizzler! Wow! Now, this is important to me. I can't say anything in depth about this without it becoming a massive fucking spoiler. This is the best spoiler in the entire fucking show to me, personally, so I'm not gonna ruin it. But for those of you who know, I'll say this. Icarus is Elias, Fable is Jonah, and that is the distinction. As somebody whose favorite character is Elias, and I mean Elias, that's an important distinction to me. For those of you who don't know, it is extremely fucking vital that they look near identical for both of these. It's Nepo baby to its highest fucking potential. I love the concept of Icarus just being at the wrongest possible place at the wrongest possible time. That feels very them core. This is another one of God's specialist princes, but this one is into it. good at murder, but supremely bad at the cover-up afterwards. There's a great quote from an Elias episode where he is staring at Jonah. And it says, they are the eyes of his father, and they stare at Elias over an old mahogany desk. And I think a lot about that in this context. I think a lot about it. Oh, man! Okay, we're gonna start getting into the fun ones. So, Sentra! Of fucking course it's Daisy! Who do you think I am? Alice Daisy Tonner is a cop and a bastard, but she could threaten me with a knife and I would thank her. She would be a D&D barbarian who refuses to rage. I mean, fucking come on. I mean, is there anyone else? Same haircut. I'm right though. Granted, it's an audio medium, so some people do Daisy with long hair, but most people do Daisy like this, and I am right. Daisy is very Centros core. This is another one where we just reached through TMA, grabbed Daisy Tonner, and transed her gender and threw her into Fable, and that's how Centros happened. Now that we have Daisy and Centros, I mean, like, where do you go next? I'm not even gonna give you guys a second. Fucking, yeah, obviously. It matches. Now, maybe Fenris should get to be Daisy, because Daisy literally becomes a wolf. But Fenris matches Basira's vibe better. Like, the personality is there for Basira when it comes to Fenris. And also, I think it's really funny to have Fenris watch their partner turn into a dog. My favorite bit that everyone forgets is that there is a part at the very beginning of Basira's season where everyone thinks she and John are sleeping together. And that's really funny in the context of Fenris and Ray. Tim didn't even question it. Tim spends 90% of his time fucking cops. Of course he didn't question it. He's like, hell yeah, man, my methods. Give me some credit. I want royalties on this. We got Kai. I want people to guess Kai, because I've already seen a couple people in chat saying I thought Kai would be Basira, which interesting take, but I have a better one for you. Look me in the eyes and tell me I am wrong. You can't. Blue-coated violent queens. She's gotta be Melanie. They fit perfectly. It's so wonderful. Kai would absolutely try to poison Fable if given the chance. Kai would totally be healed by Ray from a stab wound only to immediately try to kill him. Yes! Boom! It fit, like, so many of these guys are literally just like, I put the pictures in front of you and I'm like, I just present it and I'm like, obviously, right? The only thing Melanie did wrong was hold back. The only thing Kai did wrong was hold back. She should have gotten to be more violent. I love this art, by the way. This is my favorite image of Jerry. This one's a little weaker, admittedly. This is mostly based on vibes and positioning. But I think it works. I think Jerry could get his fear eaten. I mean, they're monster adjacent, right? Also, I fully believe in the comedy routine that is Jerry and Ray being college roommates. Also, yes, Oscar should be the Admiral. It's not as obvious in this picture. The Admiral is Georgie's cat. And I think Oscar should be the Admiral. We have Illyrion. This is where, admittedly, okay, things start getting a little looser from this point, but I still think it fits really well. Oliver Banks. I actually, you know what? Knight. It's not Oliver Banks, he's Gertrude, but in a first draft of this, I did put him as Oliver Banks. Their death sets the whole thing in motion. Haunts the narrative, right? Illyon's literally dead the entirety of Fable, and has their final stand against Fable/Jonah, and it's sad as hell. The OG Archivist. I think Illyrion could really kick ass as Gertrude. Gertrude would yeet a man into the sky. Yeah. I think Illyrion would throw someone to the distortion if he felt it was necessary. I love a woman who is willing to do anything to get the job done. Why do you think I've seen Project Hail Mary 5 times? This one... this one... I still think I'm right, but it's a little funny. So I don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. It's just funny. It's the king of the exposition dump. He knows too much, knows the horrors, has so many fucked up if true books / prophetic statements. Extended sounds of brutal bone murder. Exactly. Jürgen Leitner? Stupid idiot motherfucking Jürgen Leitner? I did my best to be unbiased, right? I did my best to be unbiased. And people are going to think this is biased. But here's the thing. I don't like him. I don't know what it is about him. He just doesn't click for me. Feel free to stone me for that later. It's not self-indulgence if I don't like him. It's not nepotism if my father doesn't love me. Precisely. This is the book guy and this is the book girl. They kind of have to go together. I also like the idea, well, this is a bit of a spoiler for later, but I like the idea of coworker squad. I took as much bias out of this as I possibly could. My character is a dead person who I don't like. So, like I just said, not too much of a spoiler, because it's coming in the slide directly after this, but now we have a double whammy on this slide. This is one that I think is a little bit loose, but I think it's fun. Because both Ven and Mambu have been touched by Quixis. And I don't think I can legally make Quixis anything other than the distortion. I think Quixis is literally just, they're not on this slide, but I think, they're not in this presentation, but I think Quixis is just the distortion. Also in canon, Helen gets close with the Archivist staff at one point. She's like besties with like Melanie. And I think that's fun when you consider Mambu and Kai as siblings. They get like one little arc of being best friends. This unfortunately makes Mambu a Tory, but we can write that. We could change that. We're allowed. We could do that if we want. So we've got another double. This one's probably one of the loosest ones out of all of them, but I think it's funky. Nicola and Greg. I see it, never mind. Exactly. Okay, so it's something that looks human, but distinctly isn't. You do lose racks with this setup, but maybe there's something homoerotic about threatening to peel off someone's skin. I don't know. There could be. You could do whatever you want. Ray's got how many partners? We can lose one in the war. Also, there's like no art for Gregor. I really tried to find a fan art for Gregor. I'm convinced that such a thing doesn't exist. Trust me when I say this mannequin has a dad, and it's Ulysses. There are like times where you look back at Ulysses' backstory and you're like, you know what? Axe would have been fully justified if they had just killed him. Now, I think there's a lot of places in TMA you could put Endirion. Because she's very, you know, she's like that. Possibly Annabelle Kane for Endirion. Annabelle Kane, oh, you guys, you're so fucking smart! Yeah. I mean, manipulative queen, come on. Endirion's gotta be the web. Her whole bit is mind control. She seems terrifying and is, but is also weirdly one of the most helpful people here. Like, you good? You good, Charlotte? Also purple. Yeah, that's one of the weaker arguments, but it is there. Wait, did I type that wrong? Oh my god, I did. That's supposed to say Elias/Icarus. Oops. Ignore my typos. I made this a month ago. I don't think any of you are gonna guess where Kausis goes. Because this is one that surprised me when I was putting it together, and I was like, actually, this weirdly works. Ship captains on the ocean who have gambling weaknesses. You'd never think of it, but it's not something that clicks in your brain until someone like explains it and you're like, oh, shit, you're right. You do unfortunately lose the hilarity that is the like divorced and married 40 times Peter and Jonah, but I'm prepared to make that sacrifice. Regardless, I think Kausis and Fable have insane beef, and I think we should explore that more. I think we didn't explore that enough when we were actually doing Fable. I think they should have absolutely insane beef, because I think the goddess of luck pisses Fable off to no degree, to no end. I think she makes him so fucking angry, and especially because she's a human who got given god powers just casually. I think when she showed up in his pantheon of overworld gods, I think he went home and put a hole in the wall. I believe that. I think he went home and punched a hole in the wall. She also ascended by cheating death, the thing Fable has been trying to do for so long. Exactly. I think they have generational beef, and we should have explored it more. Going off the back of Kausis, we've got Virago and Linarius. This is also a very weak one. I just think this one's fun. Simon and Mikhail Salesa, right, are like in a fun little crime gang with Peter Lucas. And also Elias, but like that's not important to this one. They're just like, they're sort of allies with Team Archivist / Lodestar. Like, they're not friends, but they help out from time to time, and they have the potential to be just as dangerous to like the heroes of the story, if not more so than the actual villains. And I think that's very Virago and Lencore. I'm a little bit partial to Virago as Simon, just because I think Virago and Simon have a bit more eldritch vibes. Whereas I think Virago as like a shady businessman giving you a vase that eats your husband is kind of fun. Oh, Perix. Oh, Perix. What do we do with you? What do we do with you, Perix? You're definitely not a goddamn mom. I'm never gonna let you guys live that down. I'm never gonna let this fandom live that fucking down, that you looked at this woman and said she should be a mother. You were dead ass wrong. Connor, I'm taking a page from Brink, if that's okay with you. I'm gonna take a page from Brink, if that's all right. Because in Brink, where you did Perix is literally just like mold. And I'm going like, yeah, that tracks, and I'm stealing that and throwing it into TMA, if that's cool with you. I like it. This is one where this just clicks right in my brain. I joke, but I very much am like, fandom, you do whatever you want. If you think it's fun, who the fuck cares? It's fiction. I don't give a shit. But also, don't give this woman a baby. Especially not Fable's baby. They're like, oh, she'd care for him and it'd be sweet. No. She'd fucking suplex that baby into the sun on the off chance that Endirion hears and kisses her about it. No. Yeah, no. Sometimes women are worms. It's just a thing. It does fit because Jane Prentice wishes she was Annabelle Kane. You damn right. Ooh, this is a fun one. These guys aren't talked about too often. We have Acrian and Afrian, the gods of entries and exits in Fable SMP. Rican and Hope. Are they brothers? Are they friends? Are they soulmates? Is this the same entity entirely? I have no fucking idea. No one's really all that sure. But one thing's for sure, you don't see one without the other. And if you do, something is deeply wrong. But yeah, Guardians of the Entrance / Exit of the Buried. To me, that's entry and exit. You know? I think it works. Frequently brought together, do not separate. Exactly. Yeah, we definitely never separated them. It's fine. It's fine. My reasoning for this one is simple. And that's all there is to it, folks. For real though, they're like, it's the spite. It's the spite. I feel like Rakai would fucking burn off Ray's hand just for a bit. And now for the bonus segment. These are guys where I don't have arguments for. I don't have arguments for them. This is like solely based on vibe. So I think Addie and Mike could fit together pretty well. I think Will gets Oliver, because you know, I think you can like take everything where I was like Illyrion should be Oliver and graft it onto Will, and I think that works. And then Nethram and Nexus as Julia and Trevor. This is solely vibes based. I have no evidence for any of these three. I just think it could be fun. That's all, folks. That's my TED Talk for today. Please listen to the Magnus Archives if you haven't yet. It's so fucking insane. I'll never stop thinking about it. It is literally one of my favorite pieces of media of all time, full stop. I would like the fan art on my desk by tomorrow morning. Ray is John. And nothing can ever convince me otherwise. I love that everyone has a favorite fear. I could personally give a PowerPoint on why the web is... Actually, before I end, would you guys like to see another PowerPoint I made way back in like 2021? Hang on, let me see if I can find it. So this is rating the entities based on whether or not I could kick their ass. This is old, so some of the jokes might not hit anymore. Ratings are on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 to 10 being 1 out of 10 being they would kick my ass, and 10 out of 10 being I would kick their ass. So let's go. We'll do a speed run. The Buried is a 6 out of 10. Bring a shovel. What's it gonna do about a shovel? Desolation, 3 out of 10. Unfortunately, I am not a masochist. The Eye is a 9 out of 10. Oh, you make me see and think about my worst fears and what I hate about myself? Joke's on you, bitch. My anxiety does that anyway. I have practice. It's an eye. You could just poke it and it'll be useless. I like to think I could take a pipeless Elias. The End is a 1 out of 10. You can tell how old this is because there's an Unis Honest reference in there. I'm not fool enough to believe I can fight death itself, and I'm not even that good at cards. The Dark is 3 out of 10. Afraid of the Dark? Punch it. I don't know. You really can't do much against the darkness unless you have like a flashlight. The Flesh is a 7 out of 10. I hate it. And I hate everything it stands for, but at the end of the day, it's just meat. The Corruption, 4 out of 10. The only reason this rating isn't lower is because you can't kick my ass if you can't catch me. And I am staying 5,000 miles away from Jane Prentice if I have any say in the matter. The Hunt is a 1 out of 10. Look me right in the eyes and tell me you could kick Daisy Tonner's ass. And if you said, yes, you're lying to yourself, the whole point of the Hunt is to kick your ass. The Lonely is a goddamn 10 out of 10, okay? The entirety of quarantine, you'd see this, there's another timestamp. I already spend about 99% of my time locked in my room alone. The Lonely has nothing on me. Peter Lucas is a punk bitch. And you know what? I think if given the chance, I could be a lonely avatar. The Slaughter is a 1 out of 10. The whole point of the Slaughter is specifically to kick ass and kick ass well. The Spiral is an 8 out of 10. So I could probably kick the Spiral's ass. Michael spent most of season 3 confused. And this would be rated higher, but I feel like Helen isn't someone I could fuck around with the same way I can fuck up Michael. Stranger is a 6 out of 10. I would burn down a wax museum even if the stranger's not even in there. I would also immediately destroy any creepy clown dolls I ever see. The stranger is gonna have to work to get to me. Vast, 4 out of 10. I think it would really piss off the Vast if I just kept singing Free Fallin' instead of screaming or being afraid, but that's about the extent of what I can do to this guy. I could probably punt Simon Fairchild, though. He's a frail old man with his frail old man bones, and I think I could punch him. The question here is not could, but rather do I want to kick the web's ass? And frankly, the answer is no. Is she minding her business? No. But when I made this, I thought she was. If I account for what I know now, the number drops to a 2. And then we have the extinction. Again, nice little timestamp there. The extinction is a 1 out of 10. Could definitely kick my ass. We can all agree that the pandemic was the extinction. And it's already proven that it could kick my ass several times over. That's my bonus presentation. That's my bonus TMA presentation for all of you at home.